Hey, so my name is Paul Holetko. I'm the founder, distiller, janitor, bottle washer, and all sorts of other stuff over at Fuse Spirits. We are a small grain to glass distillery. We're based in Evanston, Illinois, which is about a mile outside of the city limits of Chicago. Our bourbon, the mash bill, is 70% corn, 20% rye, 10% malted barley, and we use a yeast that's really spicy and really kind of ramps up the cinnamon, clove, and pepper flavors in the bourbon. Whereas on our rye whiskey, which was Whiskey Advocate Magazine's Craft Whiskey of the Year, the rye whiskey has a mash bill of 70% rye, 20% corn, 10% malted barley, but we use a wine yeast to ferment, and that gives it a little bit of fruity esters in the finish. You might get some plums and some pears, maybe a little bit of cherry depending on what your mood is that day. We also have our Few American gin, which is an interesting gin because it's kind of the opposite of a London Dry. We actually make our American gin from a bourbon distillate. So we take a mash of 70% corn, 20% wheat, 10% malted barley. We then take that, we mash it, we ferment it, we distill it. We take that distillate, we add in 11 botanicals, heavy on the citrus, vanilla, as well as some Cascade hops. The Cascade hops we actually grow right at the distillery, about 3 feet from our front door. At the end result, you end up with a gin that's very soft, light, and sweet with a lot of citrus and vanilla flavors, and it makes for a really nice way to provide an alternate to the Christmas tree style of gin. So we also have our last product that we primarily sell is our Few Barrel Gin, and the Few Barrel Gin is a little bit more of a neutral-based spirit. It's got a lot of juniper and coriander in the botanical mix, and the interesting thing is that once it comes off the still, we take it, we put it in both new and used American oak barrels. And so by putting in those barrels, you're going to pick up a lot of that barrel influence, some kind of heavy wood influence in the new barrels, a little bit more subtle, nuanced wood influence in the used barrels. And you combine that all together at the end for a gin that rides the line right between gin and whiskey. Smells and tastes like gin, but it drinks like whiskey. Fantastic in whiskey cocktails as well as gin cocktails. It's actually the #1 rated gin in the world from the Beverage Testing Institute.